Hello and welcome to my final election prediction between Superintendent Gary Chalmers and Principal Seymour Skinner as the candidates. Right now we have a blank electoral map, but we're going to be filling that in. So the candidates, Gary Chalmers, his highest ranking position is a superintendent from the Democratic Party and pro-establishment. Seymour Skinner, he's more of the anti-establishment populist ticket. So we're going to be filling in the safe states for both Chalmers and Skinner. One safe state that's interesting is New York. Skinner has ties to New York, so he was a three-term senator, but he never actually lived in New York during that time. He lived in Alaska, so a lot of voters didn't like him. They said he shouldn't be allowed to run for senator since he doesn't live there. Chalmers is from Utica himself, so this is as safe as a state can get. And for Alaska, this one is Skinner's home state, and he had like an embarrassing gaffe where he said he could see the aurora borealis from his kitchen. This was debunked, and people said this was ridiculous. Gary Chalmers, he didn't directly call him a liar, but I'll get into that in a second. But this damages Skinner in Alaska a little bit, but he's still going to win the state. The state is solid yellow for Seymour. But he still has a very energetic campaign. He's promised an unforgettable campaign. And I think that's what we're going to get here as we fill in some more states. Seymour has gone on the offense for his campaign. And Chalmers has remained more defensive and polite, especially in the debates. Chalmers was basically just like, "Meh, I see," you know. And Skinner, he was very heated. He was like, "Did you just call me a liar?" And then Chalmers said, "No, I said you were fired." And then Skinner's like, "Oh, that's much worse." So most pundits say Chalmers won the debate. So Skinner, he has a populist campaign, and Chalmers, he has a lot of experience in Congress, and that's going to be advantageous for him. Usually when a candidate has so much years of experience in Congress, they gather scandals, but Chalmers is pretty consistent. So Iowa and Ohio, I'm going to characterize these as likely for Seymour Skinner, even though they have previously voted for President Quimby, which of course Gary Chalmers is the vice president of. But the polls have been showing that Seymour Skinner is going to get a big boost compared to Chalmers. So a lot of Quimby's support just isn't translating. But what he really needs here is Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, these Rust Belt states. The blue wall, most of these states, I think, will vote for Chalmers, as you can see here. And I think Skinner having a populist, energetic campaign, whether controversial or not, will appeal to these Wisconsin voters. So looking out to some of these other states, we have Texas and Florida, two Sunbelt states, traditionally conservative. For Texas, they seem to like a more moderate type of base, and that's something that Gary Chalmers can appeal to with all of its experience and consistency. I do not think that would shift Texas into the blue column, so I'm going to say that Seymour Skinner will narrowly win. Florida is a bit different, so these voters will actually like a more populist candidate. I think the controversy surrounding Seymour Skinner will tilt it towards his column. Of course, we also have North Carolina and Georgia, and these states are very important to winning the election. If we give Gary Chalmers these states, then he will win the election. You can see he has 291 votes, electoral votes, that is, and you only need 270 to win. So even if Arizona and Nevada went to Seymour Skinner, which we'll get to in a second, Gary Chalmers would become president, and he would become Super President Chalmers. But overall, I do think North Carolina and Georgia will go to him. So the debate that happened a while ago between Seymour Skinner and Gary Chalmers, most pundits say Gary Chalmers won. He was just generally more reasonable, while Seymour Skinner was going on his crazy explanations. So Nevada and Arizona, while these states will be close, I think they will be split between Chalmers and Skinner. Skinner carrying Arizona and Nevada being held by Gary Chalmers. So overall, this is what I think. You can see clearly who won their home state of Springfield, the city of Springfield. I mean, that's just obvious. You can see that right here. And yeah, super president Gary Chalmers. How about that? But seriously, make sure to vote next month. I think your voice seriously needs to be heard. It's an important election. Um, there's not much to say besides that. And I hope you all have a great day. Subscribe. Thank you for watching my election prediction.